Hello, everybody. This is Mikelat here, and we're going to have a fun day today. You are participating in a live webinar where I'm going to tell you what you need to make it grow, and that is your fundraising program. Today's topic is fundraising best practices with email marketing. And this is targeted towards Give Big San Diego 2016. We're going to give you the tools you need, the strategies you need to go out there, the tips and tricks for successful email marketing to help raise those funds, to promote the awareness, get those volunteers, everything that you need to do to be more successful on that big day. And this is me. My name is Mark Mikelat. And I have been helping entrepreneurs, including volunteers and program coordinators and executive directors of not-for-profits for a number of years. I've sat on not-for-profit boards. I know the challenge of prospecting these individuals, especially in challenging times, or especially when you have a program that isn't a marquee program like a United Way or something that everybody has heard of. Well, don't worry, with good strategy, which I'm going to walk you through, I'm going to give it to you, I'm going to show it to you, you are going to have the tools that you need to be more successful in your programs. And we are recording this right now. Woo! So not only do I want you to take some notes and get some great information, but I want you to realize that this is going to be a resource that's made available to you. We'll post it on YouTube and share the links in the Give Big's San Bernardino Facebook, as well as the Community Foundation, which is our sponsor for today's event. So we'll make sure that not only are we going to provide you super high value right now, but you'll have that resource to use in the future. Now, I've been helping my clients for a number of years, almost 20 years really, with their marketing strategy, implementation, and execution. And everything we do has a tinge of inspiration and motivation to it, because not only do I need you to understand the success methodology, but I need you to get you going. I need to get you to put it into action to make it work for you and your cause, for you and your charity, for you and your foundation. So we are off and running. And it's just me talking right here, but that doesn't mean that it's just me participating in this. I mean, if you have questions, please add those questions in the chat box, and I would love to get back to you in just a little bit. It's before we're even done with the webinar. The key thing with marketing is first impressions. You want to make a good first impression. And this is really hard for people who are near and dear to fundraising, because you are so invested in your organization. You are so invested emotionally in your cause. It is near and dear to your heart. If someone cuts you, you bleed the clients that you help. You bleed the causes that are important to you. But I don't understand. I'm not familiar with your program. I don't get it. And sometimes you just want to give me a little bit of information, and you're scratching your head. Oh man, they're not excited as I am. Well, you understand what's going on. I don't. So my first impression, you need to appreciate that it could be my first impression, meaning that I have no idea what you're talking about. So you need to provide a good first impression from the beginning to connect with me, to get me emotionally connected with whatever you're trying to promote. So you don't want to make a negative first impression. You want to make a positive first impression. And the visuals that I'm showing you here, the weeds versus the flowers, don't dismiss that. That's a real thing. Because in marketing in the United States right now, we're getting more and more visual. We are an extremely short-term oriented society. We are unbelievably impatient, and we are distracted by everything in the world. And you know what? Other charitable causes are your competition, but so is video games, and so is social media, and so is TV. Anything that can distract me is your competition. So that means that if you have my attention for just a couple seconds, bam, you need to hold it in a really powerful, significant way. You're going to make a positive first impression. And one way to do that, one way to appreciate that, is that you need to execute your email marketing in the proper way. I'm showing you two examples of email marketing here. One is a very, very basic email message, and one is truly email marketing. Don't confuse email messages with email marketing. Okay, when you're sending just very basic communications on email, they can be basic, means they don't have to have a lot of details, they don't need to be visually impressive, you're confirming an address or something, okay, fine. But that's not email marketing. Email marketing needs to impress me. The example that I'm showing you on the right is an example of impressive email marketing. You need to, bam, get my attention. I may be viewing this on my smartphone while I'm in line at Starbucks. Talk about competition, right? There's competition right there. Not only are there other messages right behind you in my inbox, but now you're competing with the other people in line. It's like, how long am I going to hold my attention? How long are you going to hold my attention, right? I'm not going to be in line for 45 minutes. You might have 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes of my attention. So you need to be very professional and realize that it's a very limited asset that you have. And let me give you in a very summary-oriented strategy here, and then we'll go into the details. First of all, on the very, very top, you're going to practice 1-second marketing. Here's what 1-second marketing is. If you have my attention for 1 second, you will market whatever is most important. That's probably your logo. You're awesome, you're exceptional, you're fantastic, but you know what? You can only squeeze in so much information in 1 second. Okay, so your logo probably should be on the top, or maybe even on the top left. And then some very summarized information. We need your help. Become a Springfield Community Church volunteer. Bam. So notice, just in a few seconds, maybe 3 seconds, logo, value proposition, emotionally engaging picture. So before you quote-unquote say anything in your marketing messages, you just said a lot. And less is really more. Once again, you're awesome, but I'm not paying attention. I have a short-term attention span, the attention of a flea. And you need to appreciate that your potential donors have the attention span that's analogous to that. Think of it like a thimble. That if you fill that thimble full of water, you can't put in more water. If you try to put in another drop of water, you push water out, right? You can only put in so much stuff. Now, notice we have a little bit of text, and then at the bottom, we have a very clear and specific call to action. Current volunteer positions. So we're directing people to what we want them to do. We want them to click on that button to learn about the current volunteer positions. Very, very general summary, and we'll continue to expand on it. Here are a whole bunch of different types of email marketing messages. All of these follow best case practices. Now look just kind of in general at all of them. They're relatively clean, concise, they're colorful, they're visual. They don't have a lot of information on there. Good rule of thumb is about 200 words. If you have more than 200 words, it's probably too much information. 200 words. Now notice that all of them have logos at the top. Once again, if you just have 1 second, bam, you're going to put the logo. Now also, all of them have specific calls to action. Now notice if you're looking left to right, number 2 that is from the museum, you did it, exclamation point. At the bottom, they have an orange button that says make your gift. Okay, that's the only thing that's orange on that entire message. These are email marketing messages. These are not websites, these are not blogs, these are email marketing messages. You make your call to action very prominent. Now, the color is not as important as the fact that it's just contrasting. It's easy to find. Okay, now if you look at the one all the way to the right, their button says donate now. So slightly different verbiage. They have a, I'm going to say that's a fuchsia button. But also notice that that fuchsia matches their branding, and yet it's contrasted with the immediate colors around it. The background is, I guess that's an orangish colors, right? So they have fuchsia on top of the orange. So they're consistent with their overall visual branding, and yet have a very dominant, have a very prominent call to action. So these are all best case strategies. Now notice the one in the middle, the pajama program. Very little text. Gosh, how can you effectively market with almost no text in your email marketing message? You have a link to an embedded video. That's a highly intimate, a highly emotionally engaging way to connect with your readers. And I'm not going to read your message for 2 to 3 minutes. But you know what? I might watch your video for 2 to 3 minutes. And if that video is about how your programs are really making a substantial impact to families, to community members, and you share a lot of success, warm and happy visuals in that video, you are going to connect with your reader, which is ironic, right? Because they're really not reading. You see what I'm saying? Your email marketing reader is actually viewing your video. So it's another way to touch in, to connect with these people. Engagement, high value information. And we'll give you some more details here. Now the key thing for all of this is that we need you to drive action. Whatever your goal is, that's the action. Okay? You need to start backwards in all of your email campaigns. What do you want to have happen? Do you want volunteers? Do you want donations? Do you want advocacy? What do you want? You can't be vague. If you ask for vague, you're going to get vague. You don't go into the restaurant, sit down at a table, and tell the waiter that you want food. That's totally ridiculous. You know that that's not right. You say exactly what you want. In your email marketing messages, you say exactly what you want. Click here to donate today. Something like, what do you want? You want them to donate today. So all of your email campaigns need to be focused on the idea of driving action. Now, whatever the action is, that's up to you and your organization. Now, here's an example of a fundraiser that's connected with an event, specifically a marathon, right? What do they want you to do? They want you to register now. How do you know? There's an orange button that says register now. And then at the bottom, they have register now. How much does it cost to register? $30, right? You see all this information very quickly, very summarized. Now, if you need to provide more information, great, but that's on your website. You see, you're not marketing to people with administrative requirements. You're marketing to people by getting them engaged. Okay, gosh, where is the starting line? Okay, no, if they don't care about the marathon, they're not going to care about the starting line, right? So don't put that detail in your campaign. It's not going to convince anybody. So get them engaged, get them focused, and put your call to action buttons in there that really drive that action for whatever you're trying to do. And share success stories. You have success stories. You have people who know and love you. So share a conversation from your donors, from your supporters, from your staff members, from political supporters in the community. Whatever makes sense, whatever entities can help you connect with your donor base, your fundraising base, create a little video right there. Now, can you hire a crew to do this for you? Yeah, of course. And if you have a $10 million capital campaign, you must do that. You need higher quality. If you're doing something at the grassroots level, using your phone is probably adequate. That's okay. Don't make it super bad quality, but it doesn't need to be Oscar-winning, Emmy-winning quality. As long as you capture the authenticity of those people and they share their true story of why they donated and why you should donate too. So it's the power of the inbox, and we're going to leverage this for your fundraising success. Because a lot of times people ask me, oh, Mark, I get too many emails. Email doesn't work. Well, it's proven to work. It's statistically validated. And there are literally more smartphones on the planet than toothbrushes. You are literally 20% more likely to own a smartphone than a toothbrush on planet Earth. And a lot of people are going to be pulling up their email messages on mobile devices. So that means that once again, you need to be short, sweet, and concise. Because I'm in the moment, right? I'm at the subway stop, I'm in between classes, I got a coffee break, whatever, right? You have, bam, a few seconds of my time, and you're competing with Facebook and everything else. So how do you get my attention? You get my attention by being concise, by being focused, and emotionally connecting with me. Email marketing works because it's everywhere. And you checked your email today. It very well could be the very, very first thing that you did. It's very reliable. It's very cost effective. And a number of years ago, Forrester Research did some evaluation on literally the cost effectiveness of email marketing, and they came up with a figure that for $1 in, you get more than $44 out. So if you are investing $1 in a fundraising campaign, theoretically, you will get $44 out. And the results were so phenomenal that nobody believed it. And then Fortune magazine reviewed the information and confirmed that it was accurate. So if there's any doubt in your mind, email marketing doesn't work, it truly does. We've actually documented statistically, mathematically, that it's an incredibly powerful way to do marketing. But you need to do it the right way. Okay, remember, just the black and white simple like Gmail, send it out to 1,000 people isn't going to work. There's nothing impressive about that. You don't engage your visual branding. You're not pulling on my heartstrings. You're not emotionally engaging with me. And you also can't do effective management of your list. Because there's somebody on your list who may write you a 5-figure check or maybe even a 6-figure check. Maybe they have a corporation behind them. But if you're asking for $20 donations in the same message that you're sending to this person who can write you a $10,000 check, you're really missing the opportunity. And you can't do this unless you have an email marketing system. You need to segment. If there's someone who can give you $20, they get that message. Maybe a VIP donor is the person who can give you a 4 or 5-figure check. You see? Different messages to different people. That's what you do with an email system. And an email system allows and enables you with relative efficiency to create these high-value assets. These are all examples of template-driven fundraising campaigns. There are templates in constant contact. They're the sponsor for today, and they're the software service that's used by 650,000 businesses and not-for-profits in the United States that make sure that your emails get to the intended recipient and you get the best results from them. So don't be freaked out, I don't know C++, I'm not a programmer. Well, if you can follow basic instructions of drag and drop and you reuse these templates, you can be very effective and you can create these highly visual and stunning emails. But you know what? It starts with your list. You need to have a good list. And I say to my not-for-profit, I say to my fundraisers, it's 1,000,000 to 1. And I mean this. There is someone in your database who can give you $1 million. Do you know who it is? Because there's somebody out there. I mean, they have wealth and they have an inheritance and maybe they're older, or they love you and they've given enough to their kids, they want to help you. There are people of means out there who want to help you. do you know who they are? And if you aren't executing this strategically, I can tell you, you're not going to know who they are. And one of the ways you do this strategically is you focus on constantly and consistently building your list. You're going to get out there, and in every scenario that you have, you're going to ask for permission for people to be on the list. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, I don't like spam. And, well, nobody likes spam. Okay, but this is not spam. We're talking about connecting with people to follow the Anti-Can Spam Act. And here's the gist of it. You're going to ask for their permission. Mom told you when you were 5 years old. The answer is always no unless you ask. So you're going to ask. On your website, you're going to ask. On your blog, you're going to ask. If you're in the field at all at any events, you're going to ask. Now, there's different ways you may ask, but here's the gist of the law. Don't get too twisted up in all the fine detail. If you truly need to drill down on this, you're going to have this slide, and the information is in public domain. The gist is the following. Ask for permission. Because people always get confused by quality over quantity. It's quality over quantity. Oh, I need 10,000 people on my list. No, you need 10 people in your list who know and love you. See, quality over quantity. People always think it's quantity. No, 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 no. It's better to have a high value, real, significant, authentic connection. People who want to be on your list. So you just simply ask for permission. And you ask for permission in every scenario. Every time you have an event. Now, the manner in which you ask could be specific to the event. Maybe it's a fishbowl, for example, okay? Or on your website, you aren't quote-unquote asking, but there's a mechanism where people can go and subscribe. So you have a tool, okay? So ask doesn't mean necessarily you personally. Registration sheets, business card drops, there are actually tools where people can text and join your newsletter. There are plugins for Facebook, and I think there are, I don't know exactly, I'm going to say 16 different free plugins that Constant Contacts provides. So you just follow the little instruction. This is what you put on your website. This is what you put on Facebook to collect this information. Seriously, ask everywhere, because the person you don't ask might be the person that has the family trust that they want to donate to your organization. And that one person could be that 1 in a million. So you need to comprehensively ask everywhere. Now, when you're engaging with these people, we want them to build a relationship with you over time. So you're always going to talk about the great things that you're doing in your organization, but you're also going to be relevant. Here's what that means. If you're just saying, oh, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this, you're kind of being self-centered. Whereas they want to help you. So we're doing this, and this is how you can help us do it. Now you're kind of changing that conversation a little bit and inviting them to join in that conversation. If you are just saying, donate, 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 you're just kind of yelling at me to give you money, right? Have a conversation with me. So that means focus on what my needs are as a donor, as a supporter, and build that rapport with me, build that conversation with me. And don't worry about overloading me. Okay, less is definitely more. So visuals are good, but to a degree. Okay, like cookies, right? Cookies are great, but 10 cookies is too much, right? So you have a limit. Just like pictures are good, but too many pictures are bad. Because if you have too many pictures, you confuse me. You confuse me with too many choices. So maybe 3 pictures or less. If you can get away with 1 or 2 pictures, great. And then I say to focus on 200 words. Sometimes people say 20 lines. Constant Contact has the analysis here, and they know that 20 lines of text is a good barometer for how much should be in there. That's not very much information. And it's tough, I know, because you want to share so much of your story. I get it. But I'm not going to read it. I'm going to skim it, and I'm going to look for very summarized information. So take what you want to say and cut it in half and cut it in half again. You really, really need to be very diligent, very focused on this. I am not kidding. Because if you say, donate here, or you can donate this way, click here to donate this way, click here to donate this way, click here if you want to donate this, that's too many choices. And when you give too many choices to someone who is impatient, they will choose to do nothing. So you need to have one place for me to click. Click here to donate today. Bam. Okay? Concise visuals, concise text. Bam. Click here to donate. Or I keep saying donate. Whatever your specific goal is in your specific fundraising campaign. Because as this graph documents to you, this is proven, okay? This is not conjecture. This is like the math. This is Constant Contact has been in business for 20 years, okay? The database proves this. If you put in too many choices, people will choose to do nothing. So one thing. Now, in the context, when you're engaging with these people, how can you really engage with them? How can you build emotional rapport? What you want to do is you want to turn questions into content. So think, gosh, well, how can I help you in this youth leadership event? You know, I want to care for my pet. How can I help you care for stranded pets? You know, well, I mean, do my donations really help the congregation? So if everybody's always asking about these questions, now you can provide a little content, proof in your email. Yes, when you donate to our animal shelter, this is how we help the animal community. Ah, okay. So now you're providing what's called social proof that these people contributing to your program are truly and sincerely helping you, and now they're engaged in this process with you. It's a partnership. They've joined your cause, and they're helping you with their dollars to address your cause. And really, there are infinite number of ways you can talk about this, because what you're really doing in life is you're helping address a problem. Okay, your charitable organization is there to address a problem in the community. And you know what, frustratingly, as human beings on planet Earth, we never run out of problems. So if you can constantly talk about the problems that you help resolve in your community, you will never run out of high-value content. And I encourage you to use images that are emotionally engaging. Remember, limit the choices. Now, a technical idea, we want to be cognizant of the fact that as many as depending upon the age bracket you target, somewhere between 51 and 74% of your readers will be reading it on a mobile device. This means that your call to action buttons and more dominant visuals should be higher up on the screen, because there's a scroll. Okay, at the bottom of the screen, if they want to see more, they need to scroll down. Now that's a manual process, and some people will do it, but some people will not. So the high value messages, the calls to action, the dominant visuals should be above the scroll. Same thing on your online assets, your blog, your website. Now there's a whole bunch of different variations of this. Now in your engagement for Give Big 2016, maybe you have a newsletter that talks a little bit more about what you're doing. Maybe you have a general announcement, or maybe there's some promotion you're doing with the local community. Okay, so there's different ways you can spin who you are and what your fundraising campaign is. Now the overall goal, remember we're doing this backwards, is to get the funds, but you may present the information in specific ways. So just follow best case practice. The specific idea is up to you and your team to determine and design, but I want you to remember, be visual, put your logos at the top, have a very dominant calls to action. I love the example with Guerrilla Doctors all the way to the left. notice that they have a big old orange button. What does it say? It says donate. Bam. Because what do they want you to do? They want you to donate. So they make it very easy for you to see that button. That's the only orange thing on the screen, right? And I'm not even showing you all the information. I'm only showing you the top third of the email message. Now here's your simple recipe for success. Okay, first of all, you're going to have a single column template. There are templates in Constant Contact. If you're using a design that you like, great. I want you to make sure that it's mobile friendly. Here's what mobile friendly means: that it shows properly on a mobile device. And the default for that are single column templates. So you want to pick a mobile friendly single column template. And I'm going to say there are 500 in Constant Contact. I don't know exactly. There are a lot to choose from. You're going to have fewer than 3 images, so 3 images or less. Remember, 20 lines of text. Okay, look to the example to the right. Okay, there's maybe 12 lines of text if you include like the address and the subtitles, right? There's not a lot of information there. Now, the way you deal with that is you have the button that says Learn More. Okay, you push people to your website, right? The comprehensive information should be on your website, not in your email. You're just getting my attention in your email. A big part of your email campaign is you're pushing people to a website. You're kind of inviting people into the business, right? Your business, quote unquote, is your website. Not a lot of links. Okay, at maximum 3 to 5 links, and that might include like your phone number and your address, and like, you know, so you really want a very dominant idea. So here, their dominant ideas are click here to learn more, or click here to donate to Kids Incorporated, right? So they really have, in this case, 2 specific calls to action. And then, you know, some secondary ideas. Okay, if you want some personalized information, email here, okay? But don't make those dominant, because then there's too many calls to action. And notice that everything here is above the scroll line. Now, realize that social media is a more and more dominant theme, and there are social share buttons in Constant Contact that will allow and enable you to post this across social media. So if you have a comprehensive plan, you're going to create a little bit of a content calendar for Give Big 2016, and you're going to send out your newsletter. And then maybe the next day you're going to post it on Twitter, and then maybe the next day you're going to post it on Facebook. This is all in there. This is social share. There's a little bit of a calendar. You can customize the messages, you can customize the visuals, and it comes with the Constant Contact email package. What you want to make sure is that when you put your assets, your campaign on social media, that your branding goes with it. So if you are Jennifer1234 from Gmail, do I know that you're from Kids Incorporated? Well, yeah, they subscribe to the newsletter. Well, wait a minute. If you share the newsletter on Facebook, that may go to my friend's friend. And my friend's friend sees Jennifer1234 at gmail.com. So your branding might not go with it. So your from name and your branding needs to be in that message. It helps people connect with you. It helps build your brand message. And it helps with this first thing right here. Because one of the most dominant things, one of the most primary things that are going to prevent you from success is step 1. It's the subject line. More than a third of people are going to open the email based on the subject line. So you thought you needed to be concise in the campaign. Holy moly, bajoli, you need to be super concise in your subject line. You need to figure out 3, maybe 6 words that really get my attention and get me excited. Okay, so if you send something like November newsletter, no, you're almost trying to be boring. And if you've done it in the past, okay, great. You know, we'll forgive you for that, but we're going to dissuade you from doing that in the future, right? You're going to put out something that really connects with me as the potential reader from a positive way. It connects with me. You know, it's not about you. Remember, it connects with me because I haven't even opened this yet. I know you want me to donate, but if you say something like, we need money. Okay, great. You need money, but that's about you. So help us help underprivileged kids. Oh, okay. So now that's just a quick example, and you have to figure out like, okay, how can you take that quick example and use it for yourself and customize it for yourself? Now we're also going to figure out when the best time is to send this. And there's comprehensive information in the back panel with Constant Contact. And if you've been using it at all, I want you to tap into your analytics reports. Here's the general key. You want to send the message when people are likely to take action in the moment. Right? Let's say you have a very special not-for-profit that are focused on teachers. Okay, you're probably not going to send that at 9 a.m. because the teachers probably started their day at 8 a.m. If you send it at 9 a.m., I'm working, right? So you probably want to send it maybe 7 a.m., maybe 4 o'clock. You see, you're thinking about who your readers are. Oh, okay, the teacher finishes class at 3:30 and then they're checking their email, Oh, okay, so that may be the appropriate time because we want you to get success in the moment from your readers, so that means we're going to pick the best time to put it out there. And we're going to track the results. Okay, we're not just going to do this stuff. And even though Give Big 2016 is one day, I'm giving you seeds so that you can harvest. And I would love for you to replant these seeds every year or every quarter, what have you, to continue to harvest it. I'm not, we're talking about one specific program, but I'm giving you tools that will help you again and again. And one of the basic tools is the analytics in the background. We're going to look at the numbers. Okay, what happened? Who opened? Who clicked? When did they open? When did they click? Because here's the key. Remember I spoke about 1 in a million? This helps you track down the 1 in a million. Who's the person who is interested in your corporate giving program? Who's the person who's interested in the platinum level sponsorship? Okay, not everybody's going to be interested. Not everybody has the means, right? You can't call up everybody and say, hey, could you sponsor a $10,000 event? But maybe the 6 people in your email who clicked on that link, you can call those people. You can give individual presentations to those 6 people. You don't have the time or the resources to call up everybody. But email tells you exactly who took what action. If you put on a commercial on TV, you don't know who watched it. You don't know if they're interested. But in email, you will know who opened. You will know when they opened. You will know upon what they clicked. So now you can take specific action from that. And this is really where a lot of my clients drop the ball. We're just not going to put it and hope something happens. We're going to put out the campaign. We're going to monitor it, measure it, and manage it to make sure that we get the best value from this. And if this is a tough concept for you, no worries. I'm going to give you an invitation in a little bit where you can connect with me and learn how to really put this into action. But the key thing is getting started. If you haven't gotten started, you need to get started. And I'm sharing a link with you on the screen right now. It's buildingaspirations.com/constant-contact. It's buildingaspirations.com/constant-contact. And you can go there and get started with email marketing. But you know what? Because you're participating live, there's a super duper exclusive offer that I can offer new customers on the live call. And Constant Contact won't even allow me to share the link on the screen because this is being recorded. I can only give this to the live participants. So I'm sharing it in the chat box. And I just shared a link in the chat box to our live participants today. If you have not started with Constant Contact, click on that link and you can get started for $5. $5. Click on that link. It'll give you the specifics. You'll be able to set up a program for 3 months. can load a whole bunch of contacts, and this is going to take you right through the funding campaign and some others as well. So it's a phenomenal deal, and I've been working with Constant Contact as a partner for 8 years. This is the best deal that they've ever had. So it's exceptional. So take advantage of it. Now, we've still got more to go, but some of you might have more specific needs. And Mark, I didn't understand this one thing, and I need a little bit more help. No worries. I can provide some individual attention for you. So I'm sharing another link in the chat box. And this is a link specifically to me, with me. It's buildingaspirations.com/appointment. buildingaspirations.com/appointment. You can go there and click on an online calendar and schedule a phone consultation with me. Not my assistant, not an intern, with me. One-on-one, $75 value. And we can talk specifically about your needs and how to get ready for your campaign. So you can go there right now or immediately after the webinar and set that up. And it's quick and easy, and there's no obligation. $75 value. Now, remember, get started. If you haven't gotten started with email marketing, you can get started for $5. If you need more advanced help to get started, I provided you the appointment link. I can help you get started. But I can't get started for you. You need to get started. So if you're doing email marketing, great. Ramp up what you're doing. You can become more successful with my help, including the tips that I provided you here today. But getting started is imperative. We can't jump over that step. That's super duper most basic step. And even if you have an extremely small list, don't worry about it. Okay, you have a list of 5 people. Oh, I have a small list. Don't worry about it. Right? You're 1 in a million, maybe in that list of 5. I remember when I sat on the foundation and we neglected to ask this elderly lady if she wanted to fund a scholarship foundation, and she gave money to the university. And it was because her husband had passed away and left her a whole lot of money. They were very well off, and she didn't need all the money in her advanced age. She didn't have kids. And we said, you know what, your husband loved our organization. We know he loved the university as well, but you know, could we ask you why you didn't also contribute to our foundation? And she said, because nobody asked me. Holy cow! Because nobody asked me. She might be in your 5 people. You gotta ask. You gotta take the action. You gotta go. First step. So don't worry about it. You know what, that first campaign, you're gonna do the best you can. I mean, if you're struggling right now, you're going to improve. You're just going to be a little bit better from where we are right now, but you're going to take that first step. It's going to be a commitment, and then we're going to, together in a partnership, improve upon this. So one final thing here. We're going to kind of wrap up everything that we talked about. This is this quick little summary, and in the last few minutes we have today, we're going to make sure that you get all this information in a summarized fashion. And remember that we will provide this. We're recording this. We're going to post this information on the website, on the Facebook site, and then we'll make sure that you get it. Let's say it that way. We're first going to put it on YouTube, and then it's going to be disseminated to all of you to help you understand and truly be ready for Give Big 2016. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on a good subject line. Remember, a subject line that's engaging, relatively short and sweet. We're going to make sure that the from address in your email is branded, okay? So do people know who Mark is? Well, when you get an email from me, it's from mark@buildingaspirations.com. So that's my business. So my branding comes in there. There's a social share bar. We want to allow and enable people to share this on social media. And don't worry about this. This is quick and easy to set up. Takes 1 minute. If you're not familiar with it, call the 800 number with Constant Contact. They can walk you through it. And this stuff happens automatically. It's amazing. People will love it. We're going to choose the right template. Remember, a single column, mobile-friendly template. We're going to put your logo at the top, maybe the top left, because 1 second marketing, we're going to make a very positive impact right away. We're going to follow your overall branding. We're going to have images that are emotional and engaging with people. And don't have too many images. I would love for you to have one, but definitely 3 or fewer. Okay, remember to be very concise in your text. Not a lot of information. Just tell me enough to get me interested and excited. And then very specific calls to action that are connected with what you want to achieve, that are easy for me to understand and easy for me to find in the email. Now, remember what not-for-profit marketing is. It's about relationships, it's about delivering your promise, and getting results. And this is what we focused on today. Right? You want to connect with your donor base, you want to explain what your promise is, how you are helping the community, and how they can help you help the community, and then we're going to measure that. What do we want to have happen? This is what we talked about today, and this is what we achieved today. We're right at the ending time, and I know your time is precious. Oh gosh, you have so much work to do, and I know it, I get it. So what I do is I try to cram in as much information as I can with great examples and some visuals so that you get it. But I also acknowledge that there's limited time, so we do the best we can to end on time. So I'm going to thank you so sincerely for being with us today. I appreciate you being here, and I cross my fingers for you. I wish you good luck in Give Big 2016. And we also have another webinar scheduled for noon on Thursday. Again, this is focused on Give Big 2016, and we're going to specifically be talking about social media. Today we concentrated mostly on email marketing. So for those of you who are participating live, you will get the thank you from me, Mark, at buildingaspirations.com tomorrow morning at 10:10 a.m. California time. There'll be a link to the visuals, so it's right there in your email, and we will also post this on the Facebook page. So thanks again, everybody, for participating. I will see you on the webinar on Thursday. Bye-bye.